All right, good. Okay. We're going to crank in here for a couple things. Just to start, we had the Football Letterman Club here, came out to support and watch some practice today. It was good to meet with some of them and appreciate what they do. So that was good to have just some people out there. And we had the high school coaches the last couple days around our guys and around at practice. I thought that went really well. It was good to have the high school coaches here. You guys saw the lineup of speakers and a great group. They did an awesome job of just providing information for those coaches, but also, just fellowship and having the coaches here on campus. And here in a couple weeks, we'll get a chance to go back out, our assistant coaches, to see the high school coaches get back on the road. The recruiting begins. So it was good to be around them. You guys saw probably what Sean Jackson, so we put him on scholarship. And the reason why we did that, one, Sean's a guy, when he got here, we thought was a very good player, first of all, and did some really good things. We used him in the season on special teams. He got a chance to play a little bit early last year. Remember, we put him in the Iron Bowl, and he ran down there in the kickoff, he and Jarquez, and made a big play on our sideline. And, he was a guy that was tabbed to do that in that game. So, he was able to produce. But just overall consistency is really what, we'd seen from Sean. He's very, he's a pleasure to coach. He's a guy that each and every day, he's going to show up, he's going to work, he's going to do all those things. And, just felt very strongly about that. And so we had a little bit of fun last night. No one really knew. I kind of knew what I wanted to do there, but I've known with him that, we wanted to make that move, and so we made it official yesterday. His family was here today, so it was good to see them. And it's always as a walk-on player, and I can speak from experience. When you walk on and you know that you can contribute, there's other players on scholarship, and you're out there doing all the same things and working hard, and to get recognized for that and be noticed for it and given an opportunity to get your school paid for and all those things, it's something you won't forget. So, and his teammates were fantastic. They loved him up, and they got a lot of respect for him. So that was a cool moment. And then tonight, just good luck to our gymnastics team as they're shooting for nationals. So I want to say that as well. As far as today, we had a little over 85 plays total. Not all were live. We did just a little bit of live work today, which is mostly in the red zone. All right, some short yardage, some goal line, mostly some red zone work that was live. And I thought from yesterday's practice, that was a fairly long practice, a lot of skills and drills and team. And we had the high school coaches out there, which was great. But our players were working extremely hard in practice yesterday, and then today to come out here. This was another longer practice. And so the last 2 days, I think our guys have put a lot of work in. And so I know this morning when they got up, they're sore. It's a little bit earlier with our meetings, and they needed to push through this practice today, and they did that. And what I would say stands out, like when you have those back-to-back days like that, your better players, you hope they stand out, and I thought our guys did today, because your better players are usually your harder workers, and I saw that from those guys. A lot of consistency from those guys that are producing for us right now, and the consistency from those players. So that's good. It's good to see that. We need more players that are probably getting less reps, that need to be more consistent, but also push through a couple days of hard work. And so we won't have that same setup next week. We don't have those back-to-back days. Next week is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Friday's going to be helmets. Then we're going to get ready for A-Day, and we'll go do some live work in that scrimmage. To be determined how much we do, but we'll get some live work there. But overall, a lot of situational stuff. We worked on 2-minute today, end of half, into game. We were able to get some special teams work in, so that was good. And then, still evaluating just guys that are going to play for us, offense and defense, but also guys that are going to be in the 2 deep on special teams and kind of where they fit. So that was good to see that today. But overall, a lot of really positive things. Looking forward to next week. So I challenged our guys just to be purposeful about what they want to get done this next week and really have a couple goals set. Not just coming out and working hard. I think that's expected. and should be expected from themselves. But to come out and really finish out these spring practices on a positive note and put some things on film that they're proud of, they can go back and study and then use that through the summer as they get ready for the season. So with that, questions?
Tom?
Yeah, Bryan, on the first day of spring, you said the quarterbacks will be pretty even through the first 7 practices or so. Just wondering how things are shaping up there through 3 weeks now.
Yeah, we're still trying to – it's not balanced as much as it was early on. Some guys are getting more reps, but it's also a little bit by practice, kind of look at what a guy got the previous practice, try to get some of those other guys, maybe a few more in the next one to even it out. But TJ's gotten quite a few reps, has gotten the most. Robbie Ashford has been getting more reps as we've gone. Holden is still getting reps in there too. And, what I know for true freshmen coming in the spring, right? Spring ball can be a lot. After a while, there's quite a bit of offense that you're learning, and so I know he's working on detailing that stuff up, but it's just going to take time. Once spring ball is over, the best part for a guy like Holden, he's getting the reps right now. He's getting a chance to experience it. He's going through it. The time in the summer is going to be huge for him because he'll know what we're doing. He'll know how to operate it better. And then come fall camp, that's what I've seen from quarterbacks when they come in early. Young quarterbacks, it's just how much progress they make when you get into fall camp. And then Zach, he would be getting more reps. He's limited because we're not putting him out there in some of the team reps just because of his shoulder. He's getting 7-on-7. He's getting as many controlled reps as we possibly can give him so he doesn't get hit. Re-injure that shoulder. So I know he wants to be out there. He's dying just to stand back there and watch. He's in the yellow jersey and it's killing him. He wants to go out there and play, and I know he can. I mean, I've said that. I told you guys that he can throw the ball well. He's learning. He's been in the film room, really trying to pick it up. So summer's going to be big for him, fall camp, and that's going to be determined when he can get out there and get those reps that guys are getting right now. But all 4 of those guys have done some really good things. But right now, I mean, I think TJ's played in the offense. I think he's leading well. I think he's got a good feel for what we're trying to do. And with just some of the things that we want to accomplish this spring, that operation piece is really critical.
Over to the left, Bill Cameron.
Have you decided how you're going to handle A-Day as far as dividing the squad?
Not yet. I don't know if we're going to have a chance to divide the squad just with the numbers. So, it could be O and D. You always like to do that. It's fun to have the squad when you got 100 and some guys, or at least you're 85. So we'll see. What I really want to get done on A-Day is I want to make sure that we finish up. That's our last practice. We don't have the extra practice after A-Day, so that we go out there and we accomplish what we need to in that scrimmage. We get the live work, but we also get the situations. We get the things that we need to work on. I've always felt like when I was a coordinator, I know the spring games, there's a lot around them, and it kind of becomes just about the game, but you're still trying to work on things. You're still really trying to get some of those last final touches, because this is the last time we're going to do real football until August. And so I know our coaches, that they take that very serious. And the coordinators, the assistant coaches, they want to see certain things they can just get on tape one more time before we go into evals the next week. And then also just some positions where it might be close or you want to just get some more information as a coach. You're going to be evaling with your players the next week. You got to see some things. Maybe there's something that separates or there's a few things you can give them that they can work on after that comes out of that game.
Front right, Bennett.
Bryan, with TJ, is there anything, and you got to see him start the last few games, is there anything for you that you've tried to sort of focus on with him specifically, whether it's mechanics or provision or anything throughout spring, with it being those only reps within actual football? Yeah,
all those things. And that would be, and it's not just TJ, I think that's with every quarterback I've ever coached. Consistency like we talked about, but footwork fundamentals, accuracy, so that all ties into that. I think how you operate, right? So just running the offense, just the operation of it from the sideline to the field, right? You want to run from the sideline onto the field. There's a way to operate when you're in no huddle, all the different situations that come up, 2-minute, red zone, short yardage. So like every situation, there's a chance to coach something up. And, TJ is still a young player developing. So all of our quarterbacks, they're all developing. And, I haven't really coached a guy that wasn't, so to me, you're working on a lot of different things. But I think he's got a good handle on the operation. He's got a good handle on what we're trying to get done with some checks. I think he's seeing the defense well, and now, it's just going out there and making plays, throwing accurately, making the right read, being able to handle the different pressures and things like that the defense is bringing. You see a lot of that stuff in spring. So, it's really it's all those things. And what I look for in our quarterbacks is that they want the feedback. They want to be coached. They want the feedback. They want to know what they need to keep getting better at. And all those guys have been that way. When you get a quarterback that doesn't want to be coached, he's not going to play for you, right? That's the bottom line. So he's been really, really good from that standpoint, and we're going to keep working on those things.
Mark, what feedback left?
Could you talk about Sean's hands as a receiver in high school? He was really good at that. And what does he need to do to Sean Jackson?
Yeah,
to,
okay.
Actually get some primetime action for you as far as a
Yeah.
running back this year.
Yeah. Well, we got a couple good backs too, and he's one of them, right? And we feel that way. Damari's coming in as well. Jordan, feel like he's gotten better. You see him show up. Jordan Ingram on special teams and some other things, and even out there in these practices. So, yeah, Sean's just got to keep doing what he's doing. That's really, there's no other answer to that. Just keep doing what he's doing. He's going to play, and that's why, we feel strongly about him. He does have really good hands. He's been a good player for us so far, so we just, like everybody else, just keep getting better.
Justin Ferguson back, right?
Robbie didn't play at Oregon the last couple seasons, so it's been a while since I guess a lot of people have seen him play. What do you like about him as a quarterback and kind of what he's bringing to the table as a guy who's getting more reps right now?
Yeah, I like he's trying to get better. I think he cares. That's what I like about him most, is he wants to improve. And he wants to play. He wants to be the best quarterback that he can be. He's athletic. He can throw it. He's got the tools. He's learning a new system. So, a little bit, you got to, there's some patience that come with that. And you got to understand that. And so I think, a lot of times we all want it right now. There's a little bit of patience for all the players that are learning something new. Jay Fair's learning it, right? We got new guys in here. So as long as they're trying, as long as they're studying, as long as they're preparing, as long as they're asking the right questions, they care, it's important to them, then you know what, we'll get them where they need to be. We'll coach them and we'll get them where they need to be. And I see that from Robbie, and he wants to be good. Makes a mistake, right? Hey, I know it bothers him, but you got to move on. You got another opportunity. It's the next play, and then, just trying to train habits, with all the players. So there's really good habits. You want to keep emphasizing those. There's bad habits, and so you want to try to correct those. So emphasize the good ones, correct the bad ones. And he's really in that stage right now, and that's going to continue. So how hard he's going to work after spring ball's over, through the summer, into fall camp, that will really determine what he does for us.
Justin Hopkins.
More on the quarterbacks, the dynamic. Obviously, you have guys that transferred in. TJ came in, and Robbie came in, and Zach came in. What's just the dynamic of those guys in terms of trying to win the job, probably also trying to help each other where they can? Just what's the dynamic of them working together? Yeah,
they're still teammates. And that's really, you look at all the positions, you're going to have a certain number. I think that's the one thing, in recruiting, there's never just one guy at a position, right? So as you look at somebody's depth chart, we only have one guy, and you're going to come in, there's going to be 3 others. So most schools are going to keep 4 quarterbacks, right? You're going to have that at least set. 4 quarterbacks on scholarship, you're going to have 5 running backs, whatever. Everybody's got their numbers. So those guys, they're teammates. All right, and you got Sawyer Payton there. You got Trey Lindsey in there as well. They're teammates. So, yeah, they meet together. They're working together. They're trying to make sure that our offense can operate like it needs to. They support each other when they go in, but they're also competing for the spot at the same time. So the one thing about all positions, like, they don't control that. They control, when they get on the field, their opportunity and then what they do with it. But as far as what Coach Keesaw and I, we're going to decide on the reps. Now, when you get in and you maximize that opportunity and you do really well, guess what? You get more reps, right? You start to earn it. And those guys know that. So when they get out there, they don't have to worry about what that other guy does. Just when I get my reps in there, I'm going to go make them count, execute the plays. And then I think one thing when you're going through just a competition at that position is not trying to do something that you wouldn't do in a game. Guys want to make a throw. Well, you wouldn't make that. Hopefully you would make that throw in the game, right? You're going to make a great decision. But, who's going to still make those decisions? We see that if a guy throws the ball away and it's the right decision, everybody else might be like, what the heck's he doing? And we know, like, that's the right thing to do. And that's the hardest thing for a quarterback when you're competing, is to go out there and still make the right decisions, because you want to make plays. And that's kind of where we're training our guys, is you still need to make those decisions. If you throw it away 3 times because it's 3 bad plays, we still see that as a win, all right? Because from that position, you're learning. Then you go back and it's not their fault, all right? The play didn't work, all right? So we got to go back and correct the play or the player that made the mistake. But if they're making the right decision, then that's what we need. They're not trying to force something. And I think all those guys, they understand that. They support each other. I think they can talk to each other about what they did. They can learn from each other and then go out there and just compete. And we get to make that decision who the best player is and decide for them, based off their performance.
Got 2 more, Coach. Brian Stoltz, front left.
Brian, outside of Shed, is there anybody who's made like major strides at wide receiver this 3 weeks?
I think Malcolm has. I like Malcolm. I think Malcolm did some. I want to say this was. It could have been Monday and it could have been last week. Could have been Saturday or Friday. It was one of those days. But he had a route. He was out leveraged and he put a move on, and he got open. Right, really shouldn't have, but he was able to get himself open, and that was something that I told him. Like, that's it. You were already in a bad spot, but you still won. You still found a way to win. And he did it because he's able to do that. He's athletic. He's able to make those moves. And, just encouraging that, like, that's how you can really help take the next step. And he knows that too. And so I like where Malcolm's at. I think all those guys, in their own ways have done some good things. Dawson has improved. So it's good to see that. Young player, Jay Fair. I think Jay's doing some really good things. Jay's at that point too where it's just, there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on, and we're putting him out there, and he's getting reps, and it's not going to be perfect, but he's getting the opportunity to go out there and play. I think our tight ends are doing well, all right, just in the pass game. Those guys have caught the ball well and done some good things from that standpoint. But those are the guys, there's more, but I think those are guys that, along with Shed, that are doing some good things.
Coach, last one, Nathan King.
Yep. Kind of talked about there, but we saw Landon in practice this week. Work with the receiver some and then move back to Dell's room. What do you like about what he can bring to y'all, kind of working at both positions? Yeah, I'm not sure what to call him yet, right? And what I say about Landon, like, Landon gets it. He came in as a tight end. We played him at wide receiver. We've gone back and forth. We just need him out there, And I think Landon's one of our young players that is going to do some really good things for us, and we're trying to get him to do a lot. So he worked at tight end. He's doing some receiver work and all that. He knows the tight end position. He knows the receiver position. He's doing a lot of stuff too, just in drills and on special teams. Landon's long. He's smart. He can run, and so. We're working to find a role for him. Like, what is that? And, using him at wide receiver when a couple guys go down. VAR went down, had a hamstring. Then we're going to be able to put him out there and let him play some receiver. So I think that's what I appreciate about him too. And he'll jump from that meeting to that meeting, and he's learning. What I think for him, and it can be frustrating sometimes, because we're asking him to do a lot, but what I see is he's getting so much better overall just as a football player. He's going to be a better special teams player. He's going to be a better tight end, a better receiver,
because we're asking him to do quite a bit. And Landon is really competitive. That's the one thing. He wants to go out there. He wants to do well. He wants to be successful every time he steps on the field, and I appreciate that about him. And now it's just really honing all those skills that he's learning right now, and we have to help him with that too. Right? We got to make some decisions. We got to help him with that. But what we're asking him to do he's done a good job with it.
All right, Coach.
Okay.
Appreciate your time.
All right, guys. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.
You asked about the Final Four. Were you a basketball player?
What's that?
Were you a basketball player?
So my junior year, when I started at quarterback, had a good season. So the basketball coach asked me to come out there. We did the weave.